Hey everyone, I'm Danny, and welcome to Muggle Magic. Today we'll be making a dark magic catalog inspired by the Borgin and Burkes Catalogue from the Harry Potter films. This DIY was requested by Gryffindor Geek on Instagram, so thank you very much for the suggestion. I love the idea, so here it goes. Go ahead and check out the description box below for a list of supplies you'll need to make this DIY, as well as the free downloadable templates, and let's get started. Once you've downloaded the Borgin and Burkes Catalogue zip folder, go ahead and open it up, and then you should see these folders in here. We have 8.5 by 11, 11 by 17, fonts, PSD, and usage rights. So let's go ahead and open up the fonts folder, and you want to install all three of these fonts. Also, if you look in the fonts folder, there is a text file that says other fonts, and that basically just has the name of a couple of other fonts that I can't provide to you because they're not free fonts. Once you have the fonts installed, open up the PSD folder and you will have 4 files. And this is the 11 by 17 template. I can show you how you can make this into an 8.5 by 11 template as well, but this is laid out like the 11 by 17 will be. So let's open up the cover first. We're going to open that up in Photoshop. You can use Gimp for this too, but some of these functions are not available in Gimp. However, a lot of the stuff I do here is just going to be editing text, which you can definitely do in Gimp. So once we have the templates open, we have our layers panel over here. We've worked with layers in the past in my other videos, so I'm not really going to go over these too much right now. Just know that each layer is basically stacked on top of the other layer, and you can hide and show each one by clicking these eye icons on the side here. Okay, so now if we want to change the text to anything, let's say you want to change the M's here to capital B's, we can just do that. And that, and if you wanted to change this T to a G or not a capital G, sorry, if you want to change it to a lowercase g, you can do that if you want to. Also, the text back here on the back is also editable. If you hold Control and click H, you can see you can either show or hide by clicking Control and H. You're showing and hiding these guidelines here. This side, if I select it, and the way I do that is click on this rectangular marquee tool here, and if I select all the way up to that middle line right there, this is an 8.5 by 11 size template because it's half of the 11 by 17 template. So if you're printing a 8.5 by 11 template, all you have to do is copy this, and to do that you can select all of this half of the template, or whichever half you're doing, and then you can go into Edit and Copy Merged, or you can hold Shift and Control and type C. And then if we open up a new file, so that's File New or Control N, it's going to automatically add in, let's check out inches, it should automatically do what you just copied, which is 8.5 by 11 at 300 resolution. Create, and there we go. Let's Control V or Edit Paste. So this is what we want to print for 8.5 by 11. And you want to do that with each page, and then you're going to want to get them in the right order and everything. So as I go, I'm just going to be copying and pasting in here. I'm also going to do one that is 11 by 17, which is the entire thing. Yeah, 11 by 17, there we go. And I'm going to be pasting into this as well. I might cut that out, so later I'll have all of them pasted in here already, but you're going to want to do this. Once you modify your text and everything, let's say you're doing an 11 by 17 template, you want to select the entire image, Control Shift C, or Edit Copy Merged, and then paste it into a new file, which is 11 by 17. And it'll paste it into a new layer here, all the stuff on one layer. So this is no longer going to be editable in this file, but it's always going to be editable over here in the template that I'm providing for you. Anyways, go ahead and open up each page and make your edits that you want to make. Now go ahead and open up the cover inside here. I just want to go over a few things on each one of these templates. They're all going to be laid out pretty much the same. One thing to note over here is we have a necromancy book image right here. And this is actually an original book, original designed by me. This is actually a DIY that I am currently working on. It's going to be a fully readable book on necromancy. Also on this side we have the storefront, which I created for Morton and Merkes. So the Morton and Merkes photo is right here. And then you can see we can select the layer by clicking this box, but then there are a couple of boxes on the sides here sometimes. This is a layer mask. So everything here, if I hold Alt and click into this layer mask, you'll see what it looks like. So all of the black is going to be invisible and white is where things are going to be visible. So let's go ahead and disable the layer mask. So you can see this picture is much larger. So I'm masking out everything around where the black is on this image. As long as this lock right here, if I click between them, it makes a lock. As long as it's not locked, I can actually select my move tool and then I can drag this around in there. So if you wanted to put a different image in there, let's say if we wanted to do Borgin and Burkes storefront, I'll just go to Google Images. So any of these pictures really, let's just grab one. I'll just do this one. So now we can just click and drag this image into Photoshop. So now we have the Borgin and Burkes storefront here. Let's copy by selecting all and Control C, and then let's go back here and paste. And then what we want to do is take this layer mask and just drag it up onto the photo layer we just put in. And then we can hide the Morton and Merkes, drag this image around in here wherever we want. We can also do Control T or edit transform, free transform actually right here, Control T. And then you can see that that puts little squares in the corners here. So if we hold Shift and Alt and drag, you can see this will scale it properly. And then we can just place it wherever we want, let's say right there. So now we have Borgin and Burkes in there if we want that. Also, this photo texture layer here, you can see how this photo looks old. If we hide that, that part kind of goes away. It just adds like some fogginess and scratches and stuff to it. Now let's open up Borgin and Burkes P1-P4. Again, all the text is editable and I have it in two different folders here. We have page 1 here and page 4 here. So just click the arrow here to check out all of the different layers for that page. And then finally, let's open up Borgin and Burkes P2-P3, and that's page 2 and 3, which is the center spread. All of these images, just like in the other files that I've opened, have layer masks in here. So they are all, you can swap each one of them out if you want to, or you can just use the ones that I've provided here. I will note that if you hide the background texture layer, these images get a lot lighter, and that's because of some of the filters that I had to use on them. So this horned skull one over here in the top left, I will have to duplicate this layer a few times to get it to show up, which is basically just darkening it. To do that, I can hold Control and type J, and that will duplicate the layer that I have selected. So I've duplicated it once, now you can kind of see it. Let's duplicate it again. I think that looks a little bit better. So just do that for any layer that looks too light. Now all of the images that I'm using here, such as the design elements, like this image here, this image here, basically all of those kind of decorative design elements there, that's all vintage art that was used a long time ago, and it is now in the public domain, so there is no copyright or trademark on these images, and there can't be. It's all public domain. So now here is the file that I have been pasting these into, copying and pasting. So I have 4 layers for the 11:17 file, and we need to turn this into a multi-page PDF. We can actually unlock this background layer here. It turns it into layer 0. We can just delete that layer. So now we have layer 1, 2, 3, and 4. So here's the order that these need to be in here. Layer 1, this one, the cover, and we'll go ahead and rename this layer by double clicking into it. And I'm just going to call it cover. This needs to be on top, and then the inside cover should be the next layer down. So I'm gonna call that cover dash inside. And I'm naming these with dashes instead of spaces and all lowercase because these are going to be included in the file name when we export this. And then layer 3 should be here, the next one down from cover. So I'm just going to call this P1-P4 because it's page 1 and 4. And then the final layer should be the center spread here, which is P2-P3. The next thing we're going to do is go to File, Export, Layers to Files. Now we need to select a place to export it to. I'm just going to do my desktop. And then this is going to be before the file name. So it's the naming of this is going to be whatever you put in here. So I'm just going to do Borgin and Burkes. And then it's going, after this, it's going to have a dash and then an automatically generated number, and then another dash, and then the layer name. Next, you want to have JPEG selected, and then the quality all the way up, and then you can just click run. And then it should go in and save each one of these automatically. And when it's done, you'll get this alert, export layers to files was successful, click OK. And now if we go back to the desktop, you should see, or wherever you saved them, you will see all of your images. So just drag these all into Photoshop. There we go. So now you should have each one of these opened up in Photoshop. And now you'll do File, Automate, and PDF Presentation. Add open files, and I have an extra file opened here, so I'm just going to remove that one. But you will have the cover, the inside cover, page 1, page 4, and page 2, page 3. You can make sure that they're sorted by name because these are all going to export with those automatic file names, so they're all in the right order. Click Save. And then I'm going to just do the desktop again, and I'm going to name it Borgin and Burkes. And then I'm going to save it. And then in this Save Adobe PDF window, the settings that I use are pretty straightforward. We have high quality print right here is what you want to select in this drop down. And then you also want to optimize for fast web preview and save PDF. And it'll take just a moment and then it's saved. So now we can close all these JPEGs, and then you should have a PDF on your desktop or wherever you saved it. And these should all be in the right order. So now you can print these out on 11 by 17 paper and you are good to go. If you're doing 8.5 by 11 paper, the ordering is going to be a bit different. So we have the front cover. Now that should be first, and these are actually going to be in order. So the order of these pages should be as if you're flipping through the magazine. So we'll have the front cover there. The page with the storefront is the inside front cover. The next page should be the Hand of Glory. The next page will be the left side of the center spread. And then we'll have the right side of the center spread. And then we should have the necklace. And then we should have the necromancy book. And then the back cover. Again, we can unlock and delete this background layer. You can rename each one of these the correct name if you want. You're going to export the JPEG files exactly the same. You're going to create the PDF file exactly the same as well. So that's how you can set up your templates before you print. So you'll want to print this out, print out your template. If you used 8.5 by 11, you want to go in here, and down here you will see a Dark Magic Catalog spine. Either that or in the PDF folder, you'll also see the Dark Magic Catalog spine, which is just the spine of the book. You're going to want to print one of these out with your 8.5 by 11 pages so that you can glue it basically the same way that we did the Weasley Wizard Wheezes magazine or the Quibbler, we printed out a spine to kind of hide the staples and the edges of the paper, and it makes it look a little bit better. So go ahead and print one of these out along with the rest of your templates if you're doing 8.5 by 11. Now, once you have your templates customized, go ahead and print them out. I printed mine on 11 by 17 paper. You may customize your templates to be on 8.5 by 11, in which case you'd put this together a little bit differently, but we'll go over that. And it should be double-sided. The inside pages are on regular paper and the outside pages are on cardstock. So to put this thing together, it's actually pretty simple. We just need to line up the pages on top of each other, and then we're just going to use a couple of paper clamps to clamp the pages together so that they don't move around while we're assembling it. I put my paper clamps one right here in the middle of top of this page and one right here about the middle bottom of this page. And the next thing we need to do is staple this together. So one staple here, another staple here. The easiest way to do that is to get one of these long reach staplers, and it makes things so much easier if you're going to be making things like this, because we can just sort of line it up and put a staple right here. It also has like a ruler here, so you know exactly how far in you're stapling. If you don't have a long reach stapler or can't get your hands on one, you can do this manually, and I go over that in another video if you want to check out my Mudbloods pamphlet. I go over how to do that manually there, so I'll leave a link to that in the description box below, so go ahead and check that out if that's what you need to do, but I highly recommend getting one of these long reach staples. So we're going to put one staple right here, and then we're just going to put another staple right about here. And now we can just fold this in half where we stapled it. There we go. You can remove the paper clamps. And now all that's left to do is to trim off this white space around the edges. And so to do that, we're just going to use a ruler and X-Acto knife. So line up your ruler with the line that you want to cut right about here. Take your X-Acto knife. You want to push down on the ruler so that the paper underneath doesn't slip around. And then you're just going to follow along that line with your X-Acto knife. You probably have to go over it a few times just to make sure you go through all of the pages. That is how you assemble the Borgin and Burkes Catalogue. In this weekly giveaway, I decided to go ahead and just give away 6 of these catalogs. So I have made 6 of these, and I will choose 6 winners in 7 days. Also make sure to enter my 20K giveaway, which is for a Muggle Magic mystery box, which includes a Marauder's map, a Quibbler, as well as 5 mystery items, a few of which are going to be projects that I am not going to release until after the box is won. You'll find links to the weekly giveaway for the 6 Borgin and Burkes catalogs, as well as my 20K giveaway in the description box below. And now to announce the winner of the Marauder's map Noble Collection mod. Now this included a reversible cover as well as a fix for a misaligned flap, which is on the inside of the official Noble Collection map. And the winner is Zach Vandermeulen. Congratulations, and I have sent you an email with instructions on how you can claim your prize. Remember, I get a lot of ideas for these DIYs that I do from your comments. So if you have an idea for something that you want to see me do in the future, definitely leave a comment below and let me know. If you're interested in seeing more DIY videos having to do with Harry Potter and more, go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Alright, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.